So let's have a quick recap what we have discussed in the last session. In the last session, we have discussed about how we can create our Azure account. And then we have discussed about how we can create our Linux machine by using SSH key. In today's session, we are going to learn about how we can create our Linux machine with the help of password. But before starting off this particular topic, I'm going to share the WhatsApp group link again in the chat box. If any one of you is not in the WhatsApp group, you can please join by using the link. And again, I'm going to share our course content link. And I'm sharing my team contact details. If you want to ask anything related to training, you can contact them. But if you have any technical queries while practice, you can email me. So I have shared all the details. So now we need to start with our today's topic, how to create a Linux machine with the help of password. But before starting off this particular topic, any question anyone have? Please let me know. Anyone have any question, whatever we have discussed till now? If you have any question, please let me know. Yes, Jagadishan, you can unmute.
Sir, good evening, sir. So
Good
actually,
evening.
in this area cloud, we are focusing on CI/CD pipeline and automation deployment. We are focusing on this 45 days course, right?
Sorry, can you please repeat your question again?
This course we covering the CI/CD part and automatic deployment, the pipeline, Azure Devops pipeline. We are
Yes,
focusing
we
on
are
this.
going to learn about Azure pipeline.
Oh, okay. So using deployment through Ansible or Rendeck.
We are going to learn about Ansible also. We are going to learn about Azure pipeline also. We are going to learn about Docker also. All the things whichever we are learning, Jagadish, it is mentioned in the course content. So please refer the course content for more details.
Yeah, okay. Our company are more focusing on Azure DevOps and focusing on the CI/CD deployment through AWS. Sorry, ADO.
Whatever we are covering, it is clearly all things are mentioned, Jagadish.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay. All the steps, whatever is covering with complete description, all details are given.
Okay.
Okay. Please refer the course content.
This course will cover. I'll join other courses also. That's the reason I'm asking you. So the first class I didn't attend that. So
Sorry, can you please repeat again?
First class I didn't attend actually. This course will cover now. It's okay. So if not cover, I need to add other courses also.
This course is only related to Azure DevOps. So we are only going to focus on Azure part.
Okay.
So and whatever the things we are covering in Azure, we are going to cover about Azure pipeline, Azure repos, Azure boards, Ansible, Docker, Kubernetes. And with the help of this, even when we are learning about Docker and Kubernetes, we are going to learn about some of the Azure services also.
Sure.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. You can please refer the course content. Each and every single detail is mentioned. Here I just mentioned the list of points, the list of services which we are going to cover it. If you're able to see my screen. But if I talk about in course content, each and every thing is mentioned what we are going to learn in this training under these also.
Great, sir.
Okay.
Great, sir.
If you want, I can share the course content link again in the chat box.
No, in WhatsApp chat I have it actually. I'll check it, sir. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. Anyone have any more questions? Okay. No question. So we'll start with our today's topic where we are going to learn about how we can create a Linux machine with the help of password. So first of all, let me log into my Azure account. Adding one OTP. The OTP is 3964543. I'm able to log into my Azure. Now, we have discussed in previous session to create a virtual machine. What is the first thing we require? The first thing we require is a resource group. Because whatever the resources we are going to create in Azure, those all resources are going to be there in our resource group. So the first thing I'm going to again create a resource group, because in previous session, what we have done at the end, we have deleted that resource group. So I'm again going to resource group. Click on create. Give the name of our resource group and region. I'm creating in Central India. You can select any of the region, whichever you want to select. Review plus create. Click on create. Now again, I'm going to virtual machine. Click on create virtual machine. So system is by default selecting our subscription. And here I need to select my resource. I need to give the name to my virtual machine, and virtual machine name can be anything. I'll give as VM password 1. Region by default system is taking Central India. I'm also going with Central India. Image. In previous session, we have discussed it. To create any machine, we need 4 things: CPU, RAM, hard disk, and operating system. In Azure, it is called as image. So by default, system is picking the image Ubuntu 20.04. So we can go with the same one, or even if we have more images also here. We have a Ubuntu 20.204 also image from Azure. I'll go with the default one. And here I'm getting the size. We have discussed in previous session with B1S size. We are getting 750 hours per month free quota from Azure side. And with the B1S size, we are getting 1 CPU and 1 GPU. If you want more, you can select other sizes also. But yes, if you're going to select any other size, you will get a bill format. So we have already selected our size called B1. Scroll down. In previous session, when we have created our virtual machine, we have used an option called SSH public key. But in today's session, we are not going to use this SSH public key. In today's session, we are going to use password option. So a username, I'm going to enter as Azure user. Here I'm enter. And even if you notice here, where I'm trying to enter the username, it is mentioned as username must not include reserved words. What is the meaning of that? The username, whichever we are giving it, there are some words which Azure has reserved. We can't use those words as our username. So that is why I'm giving as Azure user. Azure user, we are able to give that. See here. There's a one word admin they have reserved. I'm not able to give this user. So like there are 7 to 8 words which Azure has reserved. We can't use those as a user. Admin, super user, root. Like this 3 words, there are some other words also we have. So I'm using a username as Azure. Now we need to enter the password. For password, do we have any rules and regulations that one upper, lower, at the rate of something like that? Yes, we have. Here are the things. Out of these things, we need to go with following three. One lower, one upper, one number, or one special character. So out of these four, minimum we need to use three of the following things to generate the password. And your password must be 12 to 123 characters long. So let me enter the password. So I have entered the password and it is as per the rules. Now, if you might be remember in previous session, we have discussed it. To connect our machine, we need to enable some port number. And even in the chat box, can you please let me know to connect Linux machine, which port number we need to enable? And what is that particular port number? Please send me both the answers in one single message. Which port number and what is the port number? Correct. I got the correct answers. We need to enable SSH port number and the port number is 22. We have discussed in previous session, Azure is so smart. They have by default, they have enabled the particular port number SSH with port number 22. The image which I have select based on that particular image, they have automatically enabled the port. So our port number is enabled. So it means I can connect to this particular machine. Now, click on next. Here we are getting disk. By default size we are getting as 30 GB. So in today's session also I'm going with the 30 GB of the size. And here we have some other tabs which we don't need to learn. Just click on review plus create. Validation passed. Click on create. So we have created our virtual machine. System will take some time to create this particular machine. Still in process. So here we are able to create our machine. So click on go to resource. I am in my virtual machine. Here I'm able to see the operating system, the size which we have selected. Here I'm able to see the public IP. And here on the left hand side, you can see the disk option also. Under the disk, here we are able to see the 30 GB of the size which we have given for our disk. And even here we have an option of size. Here I'm able to see all the sizes. But which size we have selected currently, we are able to see. Even we can see the same details in overview also. Here also we are able to see the same size. Now, next step. Next step is we need to connect to this particular machine. To connect to this particular machine, I need to note down the public IP. So I'm just going to note down the public. If you remember in previous session, we have installed Git Bash. So I'm going to right click and going to open Git Bash. Right now, I can open Git Bash from any of the location because right now we are using password. If you are using PEM file, so we need to open the Git Bash from the same location where we have put our PEM file. So I'm going to open git bash. Now in this git bash, I need to run one command. Which command I need to run? Here is the. In this command, we need to do some changes. So username as Azure user @public. Copy, right click, paste, enter. Type as yes. Now it is asking for password. And you can see here I'm able to connect to our Linux virtual machine, which we have created with the help of password option. So in previous session, we have learned about how we can create our Linux machine by using SSH key also. And today we have learned about how we can create our machine with the help of password option. Now, any question anyone have regarding this process, please raise your hand. Yes, somehow you can unmute.
Yeah, I was just curious. Where did you create the password? The password that you use, because I see that you enter a password on the terminal that was invisible. We could not see it.
No, you can't see those passwords. While creating the machine, I have given the password.
Okay.
Here I have given the password. If I scroll down, here is the password option which I have entered.
Oh,
The
okay.
username, Azure user, we have given it while creating our machine.
Yeah.
And while connecting it, I have given the password which I have.
So we can
Okay.
create our own password when we practice, right?
Yes, you can give anything in the password, but make sure the password must be 12 to 72 characters long. And the rules which we have, you can go with that one also.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Ms. Fajit.
Yeah, hi. Can we connect through both public key and password, or only public key? We can connect that, or password? Can we
Only one
connect through
thing we
both?
can use. Only
Okay.
one thing you can see here. When I select SSH key, it is giving me to give the SSH option. If I go with password, I can't select it. Only one thing we can use.
Okay, that's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone have any more questions? Okay. Now, let's example, if we forget our password, then how we can reset our password? Do we have any option for that? Yes, we have an option. You just need to open this particular virtual machine, scroll down. Here on left hand side, we have an option of reset password. So when I'm trying to enter reset password, but it is asking for username. Let's example, I forget my username also. What is my default username? How can I get information? For that one, I need to go to overview and click on connect. When I click on connect, here I'm able to see my user. So from here, if you forget our username, we can get that also. So here I can enter the username and here I can enter the password to reset our password if we forget. And even here we have an option of reset SSH key. So if we lost our key, the PEM file which we have created in previous session, that also you can generate a new one. And with the help of this particular option, we can link that also. So this is what we have all about how we can create our machine with the help of password and how we can reset our password. Now, Moving forward, we are going to discuss about Linux commands. In previous session, I have told to learn about DevOps or to work on cloud platform, it is mandatory to have some basic Linux knowledge. If you have, that's well and good. If you don't have, don't worry, that's what we are going to learn in this particular. Before learning of the Linux command, we need to understand what is Linux. Linux is an open source operating system. Like we are using Windows. Windows is not an open source, but Linux is an open source operating system which any company can pick and modify as per their own requirement. And here are the few examples of Linux based operating system I have mentioned in my PPT. I just mentioned only 3, but in market we have more than 3. So I already have a Linux machine, so I don't need to again create a machine. So in the same machine, I can show you about those Linux commands. So the first thing which I'm going to show you is how we can create a file in Linux machine. There are multiple ways in Linux to create our Linux file. The first way which I'm going to show you about how to create a file is cat command. Cat space, we need to give the symbol, space, file name. Whatever the name you want to give to your file, you can give it. Let's say example, I'm giving my file name as DevOps. Copy, right click, paste, enter. When I press enter, system is asking me to enter the content in the file. So whatever the content I want to give in this file, that particular content I can enter here. So let me just enter welcome to Azure Devops training. Enter. I'll just enter one single line. Let me enter one more line. I'll enter today's date. Again enter. I'll give thank you. Again enter. So I have entered 3 lines in this particular file. Next thing what I need to do is I need to save this file and exit this file. To save this file and exit this file from our keyboard, we need to press Ctrl T. So I'm going to press Ctrl. When I press Ctrl D, now it is showing our username at our machine name. It means we are able to create our file and exit our file. How can I get information that actually file get created? We have a command called ls. With the help of ls command, we can see how many files or how many directories we have in this particular location. Here. This is the file we have created with the name DevOps, and here we are able to see the file, the one which we have created now. So this is how we can create a file also, and we can see the list of files also. Next command. Next command, I'm going to use it a clear command. What is the use of clear command? Clear command is used to clear the screen. Whatever we have mentioned here, if I want to clear my screen, just type clear command, enter. We are able to clear our screen. Now, I want to read the file. The file which I have created right now, I want to read that particular file. What was the name of the file? DevOps. To read this file, we need to use cat space file. So just type cat space file name. With the help of this particular command, we can read our file. And you can see here. Here I'm able to see the content which we have given it while creating that particular DevOps file. So these are 3 lines we have given it. Welcome to Azure DevOps training, 3rd of August 2023. And thank you. Any question anyone have regarding these commands, whichever we have learned till now, please let me know. Anyone have any doubt? Yes, Jagadish.
Using CAT, we are using VA and touch. Create the file, right?
Like Jagdish, if earlier I said that there are multiple ways we have.
Okay.
In our upcoming session, few other ways which I'm going to show you more, like touch, VA, which you're talking about, we'll see that also. But there are multiple ways we have. Okay, so
Sure.
right now we have started, we'll learn few of the ways in our upcoming session also.
Sure.
Okay, even to read our file right now I'm using cat command, I can read my file by using VA editor also.
Okay, understood.
Okay,
Understood, sir.
anyone have any more questions? Okay, now what I need to do is I need to delete this particular file. To delete this particular file, I'm going to use a command called rm, remove command. Rm space file. Enter. Use ls command. Now we are not able to see our file. Why? Because we have deleted that particular file with the help of rm. Now, right now, I've shown you how we can create a file, how we can read a file, how we can delete a file. Now, I'm going to show you how we can create a directory. But before learning about how to create a directory, what is directory? In Windows machine, we call it folders. Folder. This is our folder. Different folders I have. In Linux machine, it is called as directory. So folder and directory both are same. And to create a directory, we have a command called mkdir, make directory. Mkdir space, give our directory name. I'll give as Azure. Enter. Again, I'm using a same command, ls command. With the help of ls command, we can see our file also. With the help of ls command, I can see my directories also in that particular location. And here I'm able to see the directory also. If I have any file, I'll see my file also. But I don't have any file because we have deleted that particular file. Now I'm going to use a command called pwd. What pwd command is doing? With the help of pwd command, I can check the current location of my cursor. Anyone knows the full form of pwd? Can you please confirm in the chat box? Full form of pwd. I got the correct answers. Now, there are 2 full forms we have related to pwd. Older full form is present working directory, and the new full form is print working directory. So if you are giving your answer as print working directory or present working directory, both are correct. So those have sent me answer as print working directory, that is also correct. And if you're sending me as present working directory, that is also correct. Both are correct answer. Now, so with the help of pwd command, we are able to see the current location of our cursor. Now, we'll use this particular command in our upcoming examples. Now I'm going to change the directory. Change the directory means right now I have created Azure directory. I need to go into this particular directory. If I want to go into this particular directory, we have a command called cd command, change directory. With the help of cd command, I can change the directory. Like if I want to go into the Azure directory, I can go. So cd space that particular directory. Enter. And you can see here, now it is showing us as Azure. Now if I type pwd command, it is showing home Azure user Azure. Earlier it was showing home Azure user. Now it is showing home Azure user Azure. Because my current location of my cursor is this. So now if I want to go into this particular directory, we have a command called cd command. Cd space directory name. Now under this particular directory, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one file. So let me create a file. I'm creating a file with the name training. Enter. I just give as hello all. And in the second line, I'm just giving as thank you. Now I'm going to save this file and exit this file by going to press Ctrl D. ls. Here I'm able to see the file under our directory. We are able to create file. We are able to see the current location. We have given the content and we are able to see the file also. Now, next thing is I need to go out from this particular folder. Right now, current location is Azure. I need to go back to one of my previous directory. As per my current location, what is the name of my previous location? Azure user. So if I want to go back to one of the previous directory, we have a command called cd space dot dot. Can I give one dot? Can I give three dots? No, only two dots. Cd space dot dot. Enter. Again, I'm going to use pwd command and you can see here, now my cursor is in Azure user. Earlier it was in Azure user / Azure. So if you want to go back one of the previous directory, we have a command called cd space dot dot. Let's check our directory. Here I'm able to see our directory. Now what I need to do is I need to delete this directory. Like earlier we have created a file and then we have deleted this file. Same way now I have created a directory and now I'm going to delete a directory. To delete this particular directory, I'm going to use a command called rmdir. What is the name of the directory? So copy, paste, enter. But when I'm trying to enter, you can see here I'm getting an error message here. And what is this error message? Please read it carefully. rmdir failed to remove Azure directory not empty. Directory not empty. So it means to delete the directory by using rmdir command, make sure that particular directory is empty. But in our directory, we have created a file with the name called training. So how can I delete a directory with that particular file? Do we have any command for that? Yes, we have a command. rm-r and then our directory. -r stands for recursive. So I'm going to use rm -r. ls. You can see here. Now we are not able to see our directory because we have deleted that particular directory. Now, any question anyone have? Please let me know. Yes, Banu.
Ankit, what is the meaning of recursive actually?
Recursive is helping to get those permission which we don't have. With the help of recursive, we are getting those permissions.
Okay.
To get the root, to get the permission which we don't have, with the help of recursive, we can delete those things.
Okay,
That's why
it
we are
means
using
that
recursive.
getting some root privileges.
Sorry?
It means we are making as a root.
No.
Root.
No, for root, we need to use sudo. We are not getting the root privileges with the help of recursive word. To get those one, we need to use sudo word.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Anyone have any more questions? Okay. I'm going to clear my screen. Now, what I need to do is I need to create a directory D1. Under D1, I need to create a directory D2. And under D2, I need to create a directory D3. So we have just learned about how we can create a D1 directory and how we can go into this particular directory. So I'm going to follow the same steps which we have just learned few minutes before. mkdir D1, enter. I have created a directory. Now I need to go into this particular directory. So I'm going to cd D1, mkdir D2. Now I'm going to under our D2 directory. See. And then under D2, I'm going to create a directory with the name D3. And now I'm going to D3 directory. So one by one, we have created a directory and now we are under that particular directory also. I'm going to use a command again, pwd. See here, home, Azure user, D1, D2, D3. So now I am in the D3 directory. And just few minutes before, we have learned about a command called cd space dot dot. If I run this command now, where our cursor will go? Can you please send your answer in the chat box? If I run this particular command, where our cursor will go? Right now, cursor in D3, it will go to D2, it will go to D1, or it will go to Azure user. Correct. It will go to one of the previous directory. So I'm going to use a command called cd space dot dot, and you can see here we are in the D2 directory. Cd space dot dot will help us to go back one of the previous directory. So again, I'm going to D3. PW. Here. Yes, Jagadish, you can unmute.
So one more directory, sir. One more question. So rm-rf, right now, rf, r is the recursive. Why are you giving a rf, sir?
I didn't understand your question, what you're trying to say.
rm-rf.
Okay, what is your question? What is RMF and RF?
You know, rf is usually we are using rf, rm-r, but some of the in Google I'm checked that rm-rf also they are used.
Like Jagdish, like earlier you asked the question that we have a touch command, we have VA command. So like again, I'm answer is same for completing one single task in Linux. We have multiple command, not just one single command. For
Okay.
Linux, we have, if I told about, for one single task, I have 3 to 4 commands.
Okay. Okay.
So
Got it, sir.
for different commands, we have it. So what I'm doing it, Jagdish, at the end of this particular topic, I'm sharing also one link also with you guys. Just a minute, let me show you that. Because this is not a Linux training, this is a Azure DevOps. So, but basic is required. So that's why at the end of this particular topic, I'm sharing a link also with you guys. Okay, where you will get all the Linux command whichever we have from A to Z. Okay, so you can refer this particular link also to learn more about Linux commands. Okay, Jagdish.
So got it, sir.
Thank you. Let me go back. Okay. So till here we have completed. Till here we have completed. We are able to see the current path. Let me clear the screen. Again, I'm going to use a PWD. Here. Now, just few minutes before we have learned about CD command, CD space directory name, we are able to go into that particular directory. CD space dot dot, we can go to one of the previous directory. But we have a one more command, only CD also we can type it. With the help of CD command, wherever your cursor is there, from that particular location, directly system will jump to your user. Wherever your cursor is there, I am right now I'm in D3 directory. It means I'm in 3 directories. If your cursor is in 10 directories or in 50 directories, wherever your cursor will there, if you just type a CD command from that particular location, your cursor will automatically jump to your user. And what is my user? Azure. So I'm using a command CD, enter, check PWD, C. So with the help of just CD command, wherever our cursor is there, it will directly jump to our user. Now, next step. Move to path. With the help of CD command, if you know the path, if you know that particular path of that particular file, this particular file in this particular location, in this particular directory, and to go to this particular directory, I need to go to in these folders. If you know the path, with the help of CD command, we can directly go to that particular directory also. Like right now, let's take example. I have a file that particular file is in D3 directory. I know the path. So first I need to go to D1, D2, and D3. So I can just type CD and mention that particular path here. D1 slash D2 slash D3. I can mention that particular path. With the help of that particular path, we can, from our Azure user, we can directly go to that particular user. Oh, sorry, by mistake, I have copied something else. Paste. PWD. You can see. So if you know any of the path, with the help of CD command, you can go to that particular path. So with CD command, we can do lot of things. I'm going to create one more file, and in that particular file, I'm going to give some content. So again, I'm going to use CD command to go to my Azure user. So let's create a file, and I'm creating a file with the name Devops. Hello all, and I'm just giving yes, thank you. And now I need to save and exit this file. So I'm going to press Control. Done. So we have one directory with the name D1. We have a one file with the name DevOps. LS. How can I say D1 is a file or DevOps is a directory? How can I say this thing also? No. We have created, so I'm aware of that D1 is a directory and DevOps is a file. I have created. Or even if you see their colors is also different. For directory, they are giving in blue color, file, they are giving in white color. But let's take example, if I talk about in future, for directory also, for file also, we are getting same color. Just think about that. In future, we get both the things are in the same color. So how can I identify? Right now, I'm able to identify by using the colors also. Do we have any command? With the help of this, I can identify it's D1 is a directory or DevOps is a file. Yes. We have a command ls-l. With the help of ls-l, if you see here, the first letter is D. If you are getting first letter as D here, it means it's a directory. If you are getting first as hyphen, it means it's a file. So with the help of this one, we can identify it's a file or a directory. But with this, you are able to see some more details, RWX, RWX, R-X, or here we are able to see RW hyphen, RW hyphen, R hyphen hyphen. What are these? These are called as permissions. Regarding permissions, we are going to learn in our upcoming session. Right now, we are only going to discuss about this D. So D is for directory, and if you are getting first as hyphen, it means it's a file. So this is how we can identify it's a directory or a file. We don't need to go to colors. We have a command, we can go with that particular command. Now, any question anyone have till now? Please let go. Anyone have any question? Okay. Now moving forward. Okay. Someone has question. Yes, Jabar Khan, you can unmute.
Very good afternoon, sir. Good evening, good night, sir. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Actually, passwordless login possible, sir?
Passwordless login. For which machine you want to connect passwordless connection?
I mean, in future suppose we need to connect two machines, so for that.
Yes, from one machine to another machine, if you want to connect, it can be possible. You can create passwordless connection also.
Okay.
It is possible from one machine to another machine. You can create passwordless connection. For that one, you need to generate a key in that particular one machine and you need to copy that particular key in another machine. With the help of that, you can connect passwordless connection.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Anyone have any more questions? Okay. Now, moving forward, what we are going to discuss about is how we can create our hidden files. To create hidden files before your file name, if you give dot, before file name, if you give dot, system will create that particular file as a hidden file. Earlier, I have shown you about cat command to create a file. Like just now, earlier I have discussed with Jagdish that he's saying that we have touch command also. Yes, now I'm going to show you how we can create our file by using touch command also. Touch dot before file name I'm giving. So if I give dot before file name, that particular file is going to become a hidden file. If I'm not giving dot, then in that particular case, system is going to create as a normal file. I'm going to use touch dot file name as training. I'm going to use a command called ls. I'm not able to see that particular file here. Why I'm not able to see that particular file? Because it's a hidden file. So by using this ls command, we can't see our file. We can't see our file. So what we need to do here? I can go with ls-l also. We have just seen few minutes before. I'm not able to see that training file here. So we have a command here, ls-a. With the help of ls-a, it will list all the files, including hidden files. And see hidden files and hidden directories also. So here I'm able to see our D1 directory, DevOps file. Here I'm able to see my training file. Here we are able to see some default files and directories given by the Azure. We are able to see. .ssh, we are able to see .profile, .caches, .bash rc, .bash underscore logout. So these are default files and directory which system is creating. We are able to see. Now, I want to check the permissions of these files. Like earlier, we are able to see ls-l. With ls-la, if I use, then or al, LA or AL, you can use anything, both are same thing. Here I got information. See, it's a file. So the first, if you're getting as hyphen, it's a file. If you're getting first as D, it's a directory. So with hidden files, if you want to see their permission, because these are permissions. What is the meaning of those RWX? We'll learn in upcoming session. So to create our hidden file, we need to give just dot before file. Now, if I want to create a hidden directory, mkdir dot before directory. This time I'll create with the name train. ls, I'm not able to see. ls-a, here we are able to see our ls-al or la. This time I'm going to use, and you can see here for train directory which we have created, the first data is going to show us as details. So to create file, also we need to use before the file name dot, or if you're creating a directory, before that also we need to give a dot. Any question anyone have? Please let me know. Yes, Anmol.
Yeah, so Ankit, with this ls-al command, can we list down all users file and folder, or just current users
Current
and
one.
current and
Only
root?
current one. Only current one.
Okay,
not
only
root
current.
one.
Okay, fine. Because I could see there is a
Root one is that if I go with this particular dot dot, I'm going back, that it will go to root directory.
root.
It is not a root one. I can see that here.
Fine, fine.
Okay,
Okay,
only the
okay.
current user.
Okay, understood. Okay, thanks.
Yes, Banushya, you can unmute.
Yeah, while creating the file, means hidden file, you have
Mhm.
given touch command. Can we give the cat also?
Yes, you
Create
can give
as a
cat
hidden file?
also.
Then
Just
what
the
is
only thing is before file name, you need to give dot.
Yeah, I understand. And what is the use of touch actually? Touch command?
Touch is also to create a file. Cat is also to create a file.
Okay.
We
Okay.
have multiple commands to create our file. When we are
Okay.
creating by using cat command, at that time directly system is asking me to enter a content. But when I'm
Yes.
creating by using touch command, system is directly creating a file. It is not asking to enter the content in the file. After
Yeah.
creation of the file, we are entering the content.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's the
Thank you.
difference we have in touch and the cat.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone have any more questions? Yes, Sandeep. Yes, Sandeep Sharma, you can ask your question. Sandeep, I'm not able to hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, Sandeep.
Okay, so Ankit, in case if you are creating a file by using cat command, is it mandatory to write the content of that file? Like with touch, we did not write the content, but with cat, it is mandatory.
If I just create a file, let's example, I just create a file with AZ. It is asking, now I'm going to press Control D. File is ready. So it's a blank
Okay.
file.
Okay.
It's a blank file get ready. But with the
Yes.
touch command, directly system is creating a file. After creation of the file, we need to enter.
Okay.
Okay. So it's
Yeah.
not mandatory. You can directly after give that cat command. If you press Control D, system will create.
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have learned few of the Linux command, but still we have lot of Linux commands to learn in this particular Linux commands. We need to understand the permission. We need to understand more things about these Linux commands. So those Linux commands we are going to continue in our tomorrow session. Any question anyone have, you can please let me know, or we can end the session here. In tomorrow's session, we are going to continue with these Linux commands. Anyone have any question? Okay. Look like no one has any questions. So with this, I'm ending this session. In tomorrow's session, we are going to continue with these Linux commands. Thank you all. Thank you for joining today's session. See you tomorrow. Have a nice day. Thank you.